Let me increase the volume. All right. So today we're going to be doing our last batch of transplants. Like I earlier mentioned, we grew from seeds, tomatoes, basils, onions, ashwagandha. What else did we grow from seeds? I think that's pretty much it. And overall, things are going well, with the exception of the tomatoes, which started having some funny looking behaviors where it's dry out and fall off, the leaves will fall off. So I was told to add some fish emulsion, and that would help. So I did that a couple days ago, and from my understanding, I'm supposed to do that every 10 days or thereabout. So we're gonna figure out what's gonna happen in 10 days. All right. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now, or the very first thing I'm gonna do, since I've run out of my nitrogen filled substance, I'm gonna go ahead and do some blending. Okay. And the first thing I'm gonna blend is the only thing I'm blending really is my bunny compost, which is hiding under my bench. So this is why I set my bunny compost in here. See, and we no longer have a bunny, so this is the last batch of bunny compost, guys. So farewell. I'm not happy about that, you know. I used to the devil's a liar, we're picking it up. I used to handpick this bunny compost. We had one bunny, the pet bunny, but we had to give it away. Yes, so I used to handpick this bunny compost like this, as you guys can see. And I was hoping that I would start selling them, but never got to that. So pretty much the reason why I love bunny compost, which I've shared so very often, is the fact that it's a cold compost, meaning that you can easily apply it. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. You can easily apply it directly straight away into your plant, and it will burn to start working. Okay. All right, so I just have 8 more plants left. I think this is more than enough for them. All right, so this is what I typically do. I grind it to sand form, so I can mix it very well with the potting soil. And this one is going to go into the soil when I'm doing my transplant. I'm just gonna hey, welcome in, Alex. I'm just gonna put a little drops of it when I do the final transplant. For those who are just joining for the very first time, this is what it looks like. My plants so far. This is what they look like. Overall, they're doing well, with the exception of tomatoes. Tomatoes are doing some funky little things that I don't really like. Hey, welcome in, Israel. How are you? Thanks for coming in. Today again, we're doing our final batch of transplants. I don't know if you've been here before, but we transplanted tomatoes, peppers, basils, ashwagandha, and now I'm going to do the final set of peppers, which are over here. For some reason, the ghost pepper took their own time. They took their darling time in growing. Okay. Typically, peppers grow within 21 days, 7 to 21 days. I find that it's typically at the end of that 21 days that you won't see them, especially the very spicy ones like ghost peppers. They take forever. But things like cayenne pepper, within 7 days, it sprouted for me. Are they organic manure or fertilizer? So this right here is organic. This is bunny poop. And I did not hope to use the fertilizer, but I had to, because look at this. I just did that a couple days ago. You see this right here? A lot of my plants were having this issue. Not my plants, sorry. A lot of my tomatoes were having this issue. So someone told me that you should use fish emulsion, and I applied that like 3 or 4 days ago. So I'm gonna see if that works. But in general, that's my very 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 first time of using a fertilizer. I'd never used fertilizers before until this happened. So I'm hoping that it works. And if not, to be honest with you, I'm not too worried because it's tomatoes. Tomatoes, even though it's best to grow them from in ground, the thing about tomatoes is that you can grow them from cutting. So, for example, if only one plant out of these tomatoes survives, which is not going to be mine, everything will survive in Jesus' name. But if all of them are not doing well, I could literally take one plant of tomatoes and cut the leaves and grow it again. So it can grow from cotton. So just like this bit, rosemary right here, I bought a rosemary plant from the store, and then I just took the cotton and and I grew out the roots. So I need to transplant it too, if you guys can see. I'm an horticulturist also. Okay, please give me some tips because I don't know what's happening to my tomatoes. That's the first time that's happening to me, guys. I've never had that kind of experience with tomatoes before. And if you also have Israel, if you also have tips for a good potting soil, please let me know. I've always used Miracle Growth too in the past 4 years, but then this year I'm finding that they're filling Miracle Grow is filling their soil with sticks. I'm like, hey, I pay so much, I pay for this, and I'm getting sticks. If I wanted sticks, I would have gone to my yard and get sticks. But anyways, I already bought it, so now I'm using it. A lot of sticks in this um in this potting mix, and I'm wondering, is this how all the soils are, or is it just Miracle Grow? What are you guys' experiences with potting soil? See one right here. Yeah. So what I typically do is, yeah. So Israel, do you have any recommendation for a good potting soil? So this is my pot, my bunny compost here. And again, the reason I'm applying it for those who are just joining, I'll show you what it feels like. This is what it looks like, rather. This is what it looks like. Bunny poop is like a little ball. I want to see if I can find a ball. So that's what the ball looks like. It doesn't smell until you add water and leave it for a couple of days, then it starts smelling. Because I've done bunny tea, I've done the tea before. So to what I was saying, yes, the reason why I use bunny compost is because it's rich in nitrogen. And at this time now, the plants need nitrogen to help with their leaves to grow very well, right? So that's the stage in which they are in. So giving them a nitrogen rich soil would be great. So that's what I do right here. So right now, before you put it, transplant them, you want to mix the soil. See what I'm talking about, Israel? See this? Is this what you guys get in your soil bags these days? Because that's what I'm getting. Anyways, so before you transplant, you want to make sure that you prepare the soil. And the way of preparing the soil is by adding um what's it called? Make it adding some water to make it moist. You don't want to transplant into a dry soil. And do I know the reason why? I've forgotten why. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the rationale is. But initially, for me, I feel like if the soil is already like you're preparing the soil to receive the new plants, you know what I mean? Just like you prepare for a baby coming, right? You don't want to. Your baby is coming. You don't have a bed to put the baby. You know. So it's. I feel like it's the same thing when it comes to transplanting. Oh, Nigeria. Okay, that's great. I'm also Nigerian. I'm sure you can tell by my accent. Yeah. So I guess you wouldn't have the soil thing also in that case. So that's okay. So yeah, so back to what I'm saying. So it's the same way when you're trying to prepare your little seedlings for the bigger world, right? This is phase two where you're transplanting them to a bigger pot. And in this case, you want to make sure you prepare the beddings for them very well. I call it beddings. You want to prepare it for them very well. So I'm just gonna make the soil moist and then I'm gonna start doing the transplant. So I was trying. So I was determined this year not to spend money buying new transplanting pots. So what I did is I went around my little garden spots where I have in my house, and I just picked some other containers. You're gonna see some different kind of containers. I typically like to use the same containers because it's easy to calculate where they're gonna stay in my little grow light section. But at this point, things are looking different this year, and that's okay. That's okay. We move. All right. I feel like I need a little bit more water. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more water and then I'm gonna start. Sorry if you're hearing any noise because I'm in the laundry. All right, that's it right there. I think this is it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Alrighty. So Israel, what compost do you typically use back home in Nigeria? I've been looking into other form of composting. If trees could talk, and those on tube, on yeah on tube YouTube. What kind of potting soils? I was asking that question. What kind of potting soil do you use if you garden? And if you don't garden, is it something that you're open to start doing? I would encourage everybody to do so. I'm in the US. Let me see if there are any other questions. I'm in the US. All right. So for peppers, so here are my plants I'll be transplanting today. So for peppers, when I'm transplanting peppers, because it's not leggy, leggy means when you see the tomato, you see it. This is not leggy at all. So I'm going to make sure I fill up the soil all the way up here. I don't want to press it down too much so that there's some air circulation even within the soil. All right. So I'm going to put it all the way to the top because I want them to have direct closer light access. Alrighty. So now I'm just going to put a hole like this so it's easier for me to transplant it. All right. The other thing you want to take note of, like, it's always best to have this moist before you transplant. And the reason I'm saying that is just easier when you push it out, it maintains the soil and it's easier to just put it in. Versus if it's dry, I've tried this before. When it's dry, the soil falls off when you lift it up. And then what happens is that this little tiny seedlings all by itself with its root, and then you're struggling to have it sit in here. So let me show you what I mean. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So, so I just push this up like this, and I flip it over. Woo! Oops. Uh-oh. All right. So ideally this would come all together, but today is not. It's okay. But this is how it will come out like this, like that. You guys can see. And I typically just what I just do is just put it in like so. I really want to bury. Yeah, I'm gonna do this like this. Yeah, very well. I'm not really satisfied with this. I'm gonna take it out. You can take it out and put it back in. Are you guys able to see? If you can't see, please let me know. 'Cause I'm looking at, I'm like, I'm not sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Can't see what I'm doing, please let me know. All right. So yes, transplant one. 7 more to go. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. All right. We keep going. I'm gonna take this down a little bit more so you guys get better. Yeah. Okay, let me see if there are any questions. Thank you for the likes, Israel. I appreciate it. Did you have any question? You said no. Let me see. Okay, cow dung, chicken droppings. Oh yeah, that's good. That's hot compost. So you have to leave it to age, right? For about how many years? How many months? How many months do you have to leave the cow comp dung to age? Also, by the way, in my outside garden, I do use horse manure. So every year I top it up with horse manure. And then from what I've learned, I don't necessarily have to like turn the soil out because the worms and everything in there, the bugs, the good bugs, they'll do that job. So every year as I'm topping it, so the past 3 years or 4 years, I've been topping it. It has improved the quality of the soil. I've topped it up with age horse manure that is free. So I'm gonna make a video of ways to save money on gardening, some of which I've already shared over and over again here. Um, but I think just putting it in a video would be good because it's one place to find the information I've talked about. All right. Get in, baby. Get in. All right. Listen. Get in. Do I like that? Okay. And when do you transplant? For those who are watching me transplant for the very first time, you transplant from the little seedling trays to the bigger pot when your seedlings have two sets of true leaves, ideally. Okay, so when it has its two set of true leaves, then you can start transplanting. As you can see, all of them. Let me show you what the true leaves are. This right here are the true leaves. This is what the plant's going to use for photosynthesis to grow itself. Like right there, those are two set of true leaves. In the beginning, when they first start off, they have something here called seed leaf. I don't know if you guys can see it right here. Uh, this leaf right here, those are called seed leaves. Right there, those are seed leaves. And after that, you're going to see them come in pairs. So when you have two sets of those, that's when it's time to transplant. All right, to move to the next stage. All right, I think after this, I'm going to have to go do a new set of soil mix. So I'm looking into doing wormery. I don't know if anybody's on here that has a worm bin or is into worm farming. If you are, please drop it in the chat. That's something I've been researching about just recently, less than a month ago. Since I no longer have a bunny, I'm trying to find other ways to do composting that is easier than the traditional way of having compost and then turning and turning and turning. I'm not just cut off for that lifestyle of turning compost in that way. So I found out about wormery. Doesn't anyone know about wormery? It's called vermiculture. Israel, do you know about vermiculture? Vermiculture. So this one right here, I got it from Temu. I don't know if anybody knows about Temu. They sell a lot of stuff there. I got a lot of gardening stuff there recently too. And what I like about it is that you put the water here and it soaks it all the way up. I was using it for my house plant that I was trying to get some house plant, but I told you guys last time that I'm typically not successful with plants that I can't eat. So you can believe that they died. All the non-edible plants that I grew in this nice looking pot, they 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 went they went to the far beyond. So now I'm using it for my transplanting here for my tomatoes. Sorry, for my peppers. All right, we're almost done, guys. Okay, one, two, three, four. We have five more, and we have these two tiny ones left. Honest with you, I have just too many at this point. I'm gonna let those ones go. All right, so I have how many left? Five. What's your favorite? What is your? I'm still waiting for people to tell me what their favorite cotton soil is. I recently found one on YouTube, a company that does vermicomposting. So they sell cotton soil from their from their wormery. I think that's pretty cool. Hey, hi Miriam. How are you? Okay. So because these things are just still seedlings, I'm not gonna put too much. What's going on? Uh, I'm not gonna put too much of this nitrogen rich. So I'll be right back, guys. Let me get some water. All right, let me see if there are any questions. A lot of fish farmer also do it and they use it as an alternative feeding for their fish. Also do what? Oh, you mean like vermicomposting? Are you serious? So do they use the casting like the one poop for to feed the fish? Ah, this is very interesting. Did you guys hear that? A lot of farmers do vermicomposting and use the poop to feed the fish. Let me hear, please. I want to know. This is quite interesting. But also, I heard that you can actually make your own fish fertilizer at home. Not I heard, I watch it on YouTube. You just take out the guts and stuff like that. Welcome, Omotunde. How are you? Today we're transplanting from seedlings to the next phase. I call it phase one, phase two, phase three. So phase two is when we move it from the seedling tray to a bigger pot. Phase three is where we move it to the ground. We move it outside to my raised bed. That's phase three. See what I'm talking about? Because I'm like, next year I'm not buying Miracle Grow. I know I heard people saying a lot of negative things about Miracle Grow. I'm just like, to each their own. It works for me. But then today, this year, I'm just like noticing a lot of crazy stuff inside the soil. You know, they're filling into a lot of log of woods and stuff like that, and that's not good. I've never bought any of that kind of soil, so I don't know. Yes, they feed the fish, the worms. Oh, they fish the worms. They feed the worms directly. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And it's those worms, at least over here, they're called red wranglers. Those worms are the ones that you can use to do composting. So you can have like a bin, right? Feed them your food scraps, if you juice kitchen scrap basically. Feed them kitchen scrap, and in turn, as they're eating, they're pooping. You can use the poop for your fertilizer. They call the poop castings. So that's the easy, straightforward way it sounds, but I know it will require a lot of work. So that's something I'm looking into to start doing indoors. I don't want to do the outdoors also because it will attract rodents, and I don't want rodents. So I want to do something indoor. I heard that it doesn't smell, except obviously you're feeding your worms too much food, and so they're not able to eat it fast. So then it's gonna attract other things from coming to come and join and eat. But if they're eating it fast enough, you're not gonna get like fruit flies and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do a good amount of research, and then maybe ending of this year or early next year, you guys are gonna see me sharing my worms. Yeah, if I end up doing it. So stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for what is to come. So what do you plant, Israel? What do you grow? And for those that are on here that also garden, Omatunde, she's still here, or he or she is still here. What do you guys garden? Or what do you guys hope to start gardening if you not started gardening and you hope to start someday? Do you guys see the amount of things I've taken out of this soil? Would love to follow up your journey. Awesome, thank you. Well, just connect with me, and I'm also on YouTube. So YouTube is where I put my videos. I post them here too, by the way, but full videos. If I was to do like a full video, that would be on YouTube because I want my TikTok is focused on shorts, but my YouTube will have shorts and full videos. Follow up because these tomatoes, uh, I just pray that they do well this year. I'm just hoping so. Anyway, so after phase two, technically Mother's Day is the day in my zone area, zone 7, for us to move it out to the raised garden bed. My YouTube is the same thing, T grows. T grows. And if you don't find it by T grows, try T grows 23. You see me. Let me know. Go out and come back in. Let me know if you're able to catch me. Because I'm also live right there right now on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. So guys, so after this phase, the next phase is to take this to my raised bed. And you don't want to, like I said, you have to prepare the ground for your plants. And for that, doing go outside, what you typically do is that you slowly introduce them to the outside world, right? Just like a baby, when you give birth to a baby, you give them warm clothes and all that to ensure that they don't have a shock in the temperature, you know, changes, right? And I'm using baby as an analogy a lot because I just gave birth. I have a 1 year old now. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, let me know. So in that regard, you do the same thing with the plants. And how do we do that? We do that by introducing them slowly. So day after day, you start first with taking them outside under a shed. Day one, day two, introduce them to a little bit of light, maybe an hour or two. Day three, increase the number of light. Four, five, six, seven, like that for like a week. You do that, and then finally you take them in ground, and you wanna transplant them when the sun has gone down, not in the morning, because in the morning they're going to be exposed. You just put them in the ground, then they shock them with heat, and so they're going to all burn and die. So you want to make sure that you do the transplant when the sun is down, or you transplant on a overcast day. And I learned this about a year or two ago, that overcast day is a day whereby the weather is not hot, it's not cold, it's not sunny, kind of like a gloomy weather. You found me. Oh, you're easy. Is that you? Awesome, awesome. Yes. So an overcast day is a day whereby it's not sunny, it's not raining. It's kind of a weather that is like just feel like the sky is not too happy, but it's not sad at the same time. So that's the day that you can also decide to move out your plants. And that one, the reason why some people choose overcast day, right, is because with an overcast day, let's say there were 3 overcast days, right? In 3 days, you've prepared your soil to go out. Because for 3 days of overcast, from what I've learned, if you did 3 days of overcast, your soil is good to go out. Whereas if you do the one I just mentioned, where you're slowly introducing them day after day, it probably can take like a week to get your soil to the place where they're ready to come out. Does that make sense? That's what I learned. So the past 2 rounds, I think it's 2 rounds now. This will be my third round because I didn't do this last year, and I only do this with peppers and tomatoes. My other plants and basils, obviously. My other plants, I just let them grow in ground. And the reason we have to do that in this our zone area, zone 7, is because we don't have a long period of summer. So we want to start off inside. So by the time the summer comes, we're ready for it to receive the heat that it needs to, give us fruit, right? If we start to plant peppers from seed in ground in May, by the time it's ready to bear fruit, the fall is already here. So it doesn't have the amount of heat that it requires to bear fruit and all that good stuff. So that's why we start planting from indoors. For those that might be wondering, why do I have to go through all this? It's a lot of work. Matter of fact, the first year when I started gardening, and I was told, oh yeah, in your area you have to plant. If you're gonna do from seed, you have to plant indoors. I said, you and who? Not me. I'm not doing that. That's a lot of work. Who has time for that? I did not listen. So I tried it myself, Sometimes you want to see for yourself. So I decided to see for myself, and guess what? I didn't do this one well, so I'm doing it again. I didn't get any harvest. So I learned my lesson. So the next year I started doing this indoors. And while it's a lot of work, honestly, I think it's rewarding when you begin to see how they're growing. I love it. I love watching. In general, I like watching things grow, not just plant. I like seeing things from nothing become a lot of like a big thing. So that's just me. So yeah. So I started off not wanting to do this at all, but then I realized that I had to. So I did my research on how to do it, and I just learned as I went along. Anyways, sometimes you may just wing it, and it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So in previous videos, I've showed how to split up plants when they're like this together, so that you don't lose any of them. You guys, I'm just going to tell you facts right now. This is overly watered. Okay, I put too much water in here, so you just split it in two like that. As long as each of them have their own roots, you're fine. Okay. Alrighty. So just gonna go in. And I did just put them directly like that here, and I separated them. The reason I did that was because I want to allow them to be a little bit apart from each other. So that when they do get bigger, they have their own space to kind of grow. So back to what I was saying about Mother's Day and all that. So I'm a little bit late into the game. I started my indoor stuff late. So start early March. I started ending of March. So they might not be ready to go out until ending of um ending of May. And that's okay. All right. So, guys, this is the last one I'll be transplanting. If you guys have any question before I end the live, do ask your question because I'm about to leave. Once I'm done with this, I'll clean up and that'll be it. Oh, good Lord. I need a little bit more soil. I'm a little bit lazy about it. I'm like, do I really need to do that? I guess I have to. I'm gonna try to mix the soil in here with some water. Just a tiny water. Don't want too lot. Typically, I have leftover soil, but today I don't have enough soil. I lie. I'm gonna mix it, put it inside. Yeah, it's easier for me that way. Any questions, guys? Any questions? All right, I don't see any questions. All right, let's see it. Let's see. All right. All right. On transplant day, when I do the final phase of transplant to the raised bed, I will be live here again. So stay tuned for that. I might not do live on TikTok because it's hard to do two videos at the same time. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, so most likely I'll probably just do one. See right here. And also this year, so last year I didn't plant indoors, because I just given birth. Um, that soil is not enough. It is not enough, guys. I'm gonna let go of these two ones here. Yeah, it's they've tried. They've tried. I'm gonna let go of them. I typically like to save them and all that, but they'll be the last two left in the heat mat, and I don't have space. Trying to maximize my space, so I have to let go of those two little seedlings. Their shapes are not even looking like regular shapes. They don't look like regular shapes. Okay. All right, let me take this out. Fill it up a little bit more. And thinking I could even use a part from the ground to get this. Welcome in rare. All right. All right. There we go. There we go, guys. Now it's elevated above this, so that doesn't block if I'm getting the light from the grow light. All right, guys, I am done. Yes. So happy. It took 3 weeks. 3 weeks to do this. Oh my gosh. So this last two I'm gonna go let go. In previous years, guys, I do one of this in one day, like all of this in a day or two, and I'm done. But this year it's just taking me longer, just because I have a baby now. So when he's sleeping, that's when I run here to do something and I run back, you know. And then also this year they just grew in different stages. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna show you guys my whole plant so you can see. They're all growing in different stages, even though I grew all them at the same time. Some of them sprouted a week after each other. So what they look like is different. So let me quickly clean this place up, and then I'm gonna show you guys around. All right, if you guys have any questions, please do drop it in the chat. And we'll go from there. Let me see if I can move this. I'm trying to do something here. I want to maximize my gloves, so I don't want to take out my gloves yet. Strip this place. Those ones there, I'm gonna go outside and wash them. Let me see. Any questions? Any questions? No questions. Okay. Yeah, I think Adrian I'd asked the question. What do you plant, or what things are you into in terms of the horticulture that you mentioned? All right. All of this I'm gonna go outside for rinsing and cleaning because we are done. We're done for the year when it comes to that. This I'm reading it. Mm. All right. All right. All right, guys. Let me show you guys around, and then I don't want to bore you with this, so I'm gonna end the live. All right. I only have two hands, so okay. I think it's the right. All right. You guys can see this is a phase two of our place here, and in terms of different rate of growth, I'm gonna just share with you. This is one of my pepper plants here. You guys can see. If you want to know how they smell, you spread the leaves like this, that, and then smell it. If you just go like this, you won't smell anything. All right, so this is either habanero or ghost pepper. This is definitely cayenne pepper. You guys can see these ones are going on the same rate. Now compare it with this one here. And some of them are due for watering. They're dried out, so I need to get some more water for them. Compare it with this one right here. You see, do you see? Do you see the difference? Right? They're going at very different rates. This was one I transplanted last week because that's when they were ready. You guys see that? So I know that I think I might also transplant outside in two different stages, in two different stages too. As much as I would love to just do it once and for all. Um, the plants are saying otherwise. So what can I say? Can't force them to do what they. So on that note, I need to shift things around a little bit here. See, you guys can see I've also run out of grow lights too. Not well, not really technically not. I have some grow lights in my garage that I placed on this shelf that I would need to move. So I move things around here, and this will be my new location for my plants once I transfer the lights over, you know, and that will be done like in a day or two. So this is my next spot for my transplant. The tomatoes, they're already growing out. They can't even fit under here, and soon enough, the peppers are gonna grow that to that level too, where by they'll be hitting the light, and that's not good. You need light to be about 2 to 4 inches apart um from the plant. You know, to get good light. So here is basil, for those who are wondering. Basil right here. They're all ready to be. They need new they need new they need water. You know what's interesting, guys? This basil, I'm seeing some I'm seeing still some sprouts, tiny sprouts coming from this also. All right, so let's get moving things around. And lastly, this is ashwagandha. It's the last thing I'm going to show you guys. It's ashwagandha right here. This is my first time planting ashwagandha, so I'm just hoping for the best with this one. Never planted ashwagandha before, so ashwagandha is good for stress and for focus. So that's why I'm planting it. I'm gonna go put on my gloves, and I wear my gloves because just in case I have to run and answer to my child, I just have to take off my gloves as opposed to washing my hands or whatever. Of course, I still wash my hands, but just in case for emergency purposes. So, guys, this is what we have here. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions, guys? Any questions? All right. So I still have some tiny spots here. So while I prepare to move, I have some spot at the bottom here that I'm gonna leverage. Because I might not have enough time to move those lights up here. Like the light I told you about, right? That I have. I don't know if I'll have enough time to move it today. So I have to create space here in the meantime. Excuse me. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I knew there's gonna be one left. So there's one plant, one pot left that can't fit. So it is what it is, guys. There's nothing I can do about it. And this light I'm putting on here right now, they don't need this light. I just put on the light so you guys can see what's going on here. And I should have transplanted this rosemary. Yeah, I'm gonna transplant rosemary now because I don't want to transplant anything again. So let's do that. Let's transplant rosemary and be done with this transplanting journey. I'm growing rosemary in indoors. Not indoors, sorry. I'm growing the rosemary in the pot. So let's transplant rosemary and then we're done for the day. And I heard that rosemary they need loose soil. So nothing, they don't like too much water. So I'm gonna put this here to help with drainage. It's called perlite. Oh, too much. That was way too much, guys. Way too much. So I've been using Miracle Grow, as you guys can see. Even the perlite is Miracle Grow. That is way too much perlite, guys. Way too much. I didn't intend to do that, guys. What? Way too much. So I don't have my camera with me, but I'm just mixing it in the water here. I'm putting some bunny compost inside too. Since I was told they don't like too much water, I'm trying not to make sure it's too moisty. Yeah. Any question, please drop it in the chat. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Better so you guys can see what I'm doing. So I think I put too much perlite in this thing. But hopefully it's not too bad. Again, my first time doing growing rosemary. So I'm hoping that it's not too much. Last next year, I'm not gonna buy Miracle Grow. Like seriously, I'm disappointed in this Miracle Grow. So, disappointed, very disappointed in the soil outcome of the soil. All right. All right, where is it? All right, you guys can see this took about 3 weeks or thereabout, if not the month, to get this the root. So I'm making sure that the root is buried and the leaves stay on top. It's a good herb. Tastes really nice when you add this with fried rice. All right, guys. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much, everybody, for staying with me. For those who stayed to the end, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, to continue with my journey, do hit the notification bell, like, follow me, and you get notification when I do go live again. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Bye. End the live. Nope. Okay, I gotta clean you up later then.